Where is he? Where is he? Where's the news? Where's Byrum Brown?
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Man, portal season. Goodness gracious. Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zach Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Want to touch on some of the USF ads so far? Like, which one is your favorite? Which one might be underrated? We have so many to pick from. State of the trenches, I think that's interesting. That hasn't really been addressed yet. It does seem like they're working that direction. We'll touch on that as well. But Kyle, the big question every Auburn fan is asking is, okay, this Byrum Brown announcement, where is it? When is it coming? I think there are several solid theories up to this point, but arbitrarily, I said, look, if Tuesday comes and goes, you have the right to ask the question. And I'm just going to ask the question, like, what's the benefit of not having this done up to this point? He's supposedly still in Auburn.
Yeah. I think I may have figured out what the deal is.
Okay.
And I think that this staff just absolutely hates content creators. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. They hate us. They don't want to give us anything to work with as far as Byrum Brown goes. No, I'm just kidding, obviously. But it is kind of funny how there's no lead up to anything. There's no hinting of anything. There's nothing. And then if it's like you're getting bombarded. I'm sure you're getting bombarded. I'm getting bombarded.
Yeah.
Where's Byrum Brown? That must mean we're not getting him, or we can't afford him, or there's problems, or there's this, or there's that. And honestly, I don't have a good answer for it because this is so unnatural to what we've been used to the last couple of years. I can't really think of a good excuse as to why he's not already like out in the public as far as being an Auburn commitment. But if on the same token, I don't feel concerned at all either. Like, not
no,
1%.
I don't either. And I think that's the main thing here. Now, if a report comes out that he's visiting somewhere else,
sure, at that point in time, burn the house.
Yeah, you panic and you ask the question, like, what is going on? How did you let that happen? Why is it happening? There was some rumor and chatter about like a potential announcement with Deuce Knight, but then Deuce officially enters the portal yesterday. So then it's like, does that end that? Are they still going to
really?
pursue?
It doesn't have to.
Right, because who knows when he filed the paperwork to enter the portal, right? USF showed us that, right? They'll hold it for free. Like, did we do some of that with Deuce? Like, I don't know. It's so interesting. Like, Warsaw, the GM posted a picture of Jordan-Hare Stadium all lit up at night and said it was going to be a great night or whatever. Were they waiting to film a video or some kind of promotional content at night with the announcement, and they needed to get dark before they could do that? Like, I don't know.
It's dark pretty early.
It does. It does.
Yeah, like
So
something like that goes out. Something like that goes out, and then everybody's like, okay, well, here it comes any point in time, and it just doesn't. It just doesn't. You remember how, I don't remember, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Hugh or if it was Harson, and we joked about how they had to get their bat signals down, like they had to figure that part out, because like it was really, there was a period of time where it was like very misleading, or the time frame was way off. Like
that was under freeze. Yeah,
they would do it, and then like 6 hours later it would happen. You're like, everybody's freaking out the whole time. Like, okay, what happened? There was the bat signal. I don't know. Kind of feels like that again.
Yeah, the best bat signal for the old staff, especially for that specific class, was Malik Autry.
Oh yeah, the bat. Batman, the little chubby Batman guy.
You post every time. Yeah,
which I still don't know if I understand. Oh, that's the bat signal. That was his bat signal. The Batman.
Right. Yeah, he would post that anytime. Yeah, somebody got added to the class. Right. Yeah. No, be as negative as possible when you answer this. Like, to the Auburn fan that's starting to be concerned, like make that case. Make the case as like, oh my goodness, I need to be concerned about Byrum Brown. Because I'm going to be honest, I have a hard time doing that unless somebody's making something like the Texas Tech thing. Well, they got Sorsby.
Yeah.
Miami's entry, like maybe like does Miami somehow get inspired and want to drop a bag? Like that's kind of the last one here.
Yeah, that's a big thing is like you got to think about who all needs a quarterback and who's willing to pay those big bucks for a guy like that. And really Miami's it. Florida took the kid from Georgia Tech. You already mentioned Sorsby. Levitz looks like he's going to LSU. So where's the other big time spot for him? Everybody else seems to have somebody already. So
FSU's really, it seems like they're going hard after DJ Lagway.
Lagway, yeah. I mean, they could pivot and go for him if Auburn
makes sense. Scheme-wise, it would make sense. Yeah,
is dragging their feet, I guess, perceived. So
like Golesh has to know, like that would be the worst looking thing ever. And that's kind of what we've been holding on to. Is like, yeah, these guys are leaving, but like his guys are following them. And we had a bunch of USF guys commit yesterday.
A lot.
And we'll talk about those guys in a second. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of worst case scenario, like what could happen. And like the result of a worst case scenario would be awful. Byrum going somewhere else. But I have a hard time seeing the road of getting there.
Yeah. I mean, you can be as tough and hard-nosed and lying in the sand as you want to be, but at the end of the day, you're not dumb. You know what I mean? Like you can't be dumb. You can't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like if Byrum at the last second wanted to be like, yeah, I need this amount of money. Like you got to do it.
You almost have to do it. Yeah,
you have to do it.
Yeah, Sorsby going for $5 million is not nice. Like that doesn't make you feel good. Now you've got a discount on your backup so far, so that helps. But yeah, Sorsby going for $5 million and kind of setting that bar.
That's absurd.
By the way,
he was fine.
He didn't even throw
better
for 3,000 yards.
Brown, that's for sure.
He didn't even throw for 3,000 yards. That's what's crazy to me.
Did he rush for 1,000?
Not even close.
You know, Byrum Brown did both of those things.
He did both those things in 1 year.
How many people have done that?
Ever, actually. Not just last year, like ever.
Only one person did it last year. It was him.
You know, when you add up like how
Can you
many
name the player that's done it twice? Fun fact.
Can I name someone that's done it twice? Lamar Jackson.
That's it. Yep, that's the list.
There you go.
That's the
I didn't know that. That was a complete guess, by the way.
You know ball, and I respect that. Yeah. So, like, what are we doing? Your best theory. Let us know either in the comments down below or hit us up on social media. Genuinely curious. It's wild. Not concerned, but it is interesting. I think it's weird.
I think I'm blown away that I'm not concerned at this point in time.
Yeah, because there's no reports that he's visiting anywhere else. Because boy, like as soon as that were to happen, it would spread like crazy.
Oh, I would be a nervous wreck if that were to happen. I'm just being.
But that hasn't happened yet. So yeah, no. I'm kind of there with you. We may not have Byrum Brown yet, but like we've got the rest of his team.
The rest of the whole South Florida.
And I think some are super underrated. That's next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Rocket Money.
Let's go.
I love Rocket Money. I love Rocket Money so much. Let's be real. Managing your finances can feel overwhelming between subscriptions you forget about, bills that keep going up, and trying to figure out where all your money actually goes each month. Kyle, Rocket Money, they've got an answer. They can help you track every single dollar that you have going out and coming in. That's big. Wow. That's a big New Year's resolution for a lot of people, as it should be. It's important. And sometimes managing money can feel like a second job, and it shouldn't. Rocket Money can help you with that.
Bang.
And it's got a really cool name.
Yeah.
Rocket Money.
I like money and rockets. And
yeah, I think that's the pitch right there. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/lockedon. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Rocketmoney.com/ say it with me, Locked on. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Man, we got a lot of USF guys yesterday.
So many.
You
know, my favorite meme is that they show this airplane, right? And it's an Auburn airplane.
Yes.
And they show a large number of South Florida football players in their South Florida uniform getting onto the Auburn airplane. It's really funny every time I see it.
That is funny. I haven't seen that. Send it to me next time you see it because that's hilarious.
I hate we couldn't throw it up on the screen.
I want to talk about a few of these guys because I am impressed with a few of them, but I just want to ask you this question first. And this is going to be a discussion all off season.
Everybody's having it, bro. It ain't all off season. It's right now too. But go ahead.
I don't really care about the fans' perspective of it because I think in a vacuum, like if you look at each individual one in a vacuum, it makes sense.
Sure.
It would make sense why you would add Jeremiah Koger. Yeah. It makes sense why you would add Christian Neptune. Kind of makes sense why you would add Corey Pettigrew. It's like, okay, if the coach believes in him, great. It makes sense why you would add Davenport at running back. Productive, knows the system, great. All of these make sense one-on-one. It's when you zoom out and you're like, this is a lot. This is a lot of it's pretty much like all the especially if they get Singleton. It's like all the receiving core there. It's just like, oh, okay. What does blow me away is like their productive guys I didn't realize how young they were when we first started talking about them. I didn't realize that Koger was a freshman last year. Like that's remarkable. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what?
What do you think? Yeah. I'm sorry, it's taking me way too long to get to the point. What do you think the players think? These guys that are SEC battle tested, and it's like, oh, he's bringing, like all these guys with him. What do you think those conversations in the locker room are like?
Well, there's not many offensive guys really left. There's not a ton of offensive guys really left. So you don't have a whole lot of conversations to be had there. I could see where maybe the defensive side could be like, oh boy, here we go. We're just, last year we played as good as we could and couldn't get any
two defensive guys from USF. Yeah, Fred Gaskin and Gavin Jenkins.
Yeah, but most of the other guys are offensive guys. So the defense,
I got you.
Are they thinking, oh boy, here we go again? Or are they thinking, maybe we got some, studs and we can just plug and play as far as that goes. What's funny is everybody points to Cignetti and they're like, oh, Cignetti did it and he had success. But Cignetti also has had the oldest teams in college football for 3 years and he's doing it again. And this is the complete opposite. They're bringing in all the young guys. Now, some of them are very good. I think Koger is insanely underrated.
I agree.
I think he may be.
I think Neptune is as well, by the way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Koger may be more exciting than maybe any of them. If I'm being, not saying other than Byrum Brown, this kid's really, really good. So,
yeah, if I had to pick between Koger and Singleton, I'm thinking about it.
Say that one more time.
I'm picking between Jeremiah Koger.
Oh, yeah.
And Keyshawn Singleton. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I might take Koger on the right day. You never know.
Yeah, and I think there's an argument also with what else are you planning to do? Because if you're getting another number one, and then you have Koger, I think I'd rather have that situation.
Yeah, you got a bunch of
and
years.
That's nothing against Singleton. I'm going to be stoked if he ends up as an Auburn Tiger, but I do think it's interesting. So a scenario has happened in my life.
Oh boy!
Over really the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Where I find whether it's here sitting at my desk or maybe I'm watching a Disney movie with my kids, and I just find myself sometimes in the middle of the night when I wake up, I just find myself thinking about Fred Gaskin.
Really?
I'm so excited for him.
You're a DB guy too, so that's big.
Yeah, he's a safety. He's a middle of the field guy. I don't want him playing, but I'm just stoked about this guy.
He's just, to me,
first off, his name's Fred Gaskin.
That's a great.
What else do you want as a safety?
Yeah, it's a great safety name. he's just like always around the ball. Like, and it's like not necessarily always like the most fundamentally perfect play, but he just finds himself in the mix. He finds himself around the ball.
Intensity. There's some level of instinct there.
I'll give you a
his
perfect
name
example.
is Fred Gaskin.
Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example. Okay.
Please.
There's a highlight of him, and he doesn't really make this play. Okay. He doesn't necessarily make this play, but it looked like it was like a double safety blitz. Okay. And the actual other safety knocked the ball out of the quarterback's hand, but Gaskin's there. He's there. And then he gets the ball from like the fumble recovery and runs it back 93 yards. And there's multiple plays like that where there's an interception where it's a throwaway. There's a highlight of it. It's a ball that's being thrown away. And then he just happens to be there and he tips toes, intercepts the ball going out of bounds. So like he just seems like a football player, man, like a dude.
Well, and his name is Fred Gaskin.
Fred Gaskin. Yes. Can't beat that. Cannot beat that name.
If Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed created a super safety together, his name would be Fred Gaskin.
How about that? I can't argue with that.
No, I
Where
think
does he play? Where does he play, and who does he play in front of?
I think he battles with
Fagans? Or does he play nickel?
That's a great question.
Or does Fagans play nickel and then he plays that field safety or that free, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, I mean, I almost kind of want him to battle with Caleb Harris, but different roles.
I forget about Caleb Harris.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an announcement from Caleb Harris or Sylvester Smith yet.
That's a good point.
I would like both of them back.
Caleb Harris made kind of a cryptic post a while back, a couple of days ago, with a bunch of Auburn stuff on it. I kind of feel like he's coming back, but
Sylvester Smith, I feel like he's always cryptic and posting stuff, and he hasn't posted anything.
He hasn't posted anything. And
I feel like that's a good thing.
Silence is great at this point in time, especially when the portal is open. You know, when you start thinking about it, you add a Fred Gaskin, which great name. You add
his name is Fred Gaskin.
You add that into the mix, and you start talking about Champ Anthony. Hey, we're feeling like maybe he could come back, throwing around all these other guys. Now, true corners, I feel like you still need some help, but man, you got a lot of options. There's a lot of good athletes back there.
Yeah. The trenches. If you're following Auburn every day, like the everydayers do here, the trenches are where I think the biggest concern is right now. Let's take a stab at that in just a moment, right here on Locked On Auburn. Zach Blackerby, Kyle Rush. This is Locked On Auburn, and also his name is Fred Gaskin. For goodness sakes, the offensive line and defensive line situation. Actually, before we even get there, do you think it's interesting that all the names so far are South Florida guys or Hudson Powell, our long snapper? Like, go ahead and commit, Hudson, and then all my USF guys are going to go. Just go ahead real quick.
It's not on the surface. It's not even kind of remotely that interesting that that you have this many South Florida guys, because I think we all felt like that would happen, especially on the offensive side of the ball, especially on the wide receiver, from the wide receiver side. I guess the two things that are most interesting is that there's not anybody from another school yet.
Right.
And that the one that you want the most is not the one that you kind of got to build your team around, that we talked about earlier in the show is not quite announced yet. So that to me is the most interesting thing. But if you told me that he brought 11, 12 guys from South Florida at the end of this thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. But if this,
I just didn't expect those, do we have 9 so far?
Let me see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. We have 8 so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you would have told me 8 of the first 9 were all from USF, I'd be like,
did it happen on Friday or Saturday? I would
True.
have been like,
That
yeah,
happened the day of. It's like, okay, yeah, great, cool.
it makes total
Tampering
sense.
at its finest.
No,
Beautiful.
we're bleeding them out too. every time we see the commit, we think it's Byrum Brown, and it's not.
I mean, the ultimate troll was Hewlett.
Oh, yes, it was.
I mean, I don't think I've ever felt that level of confusion in my body before. It's like, oh,
we're like, wait, did we get this wrong the whole time? Were we wrong about this the whole time? It was gonna be Lockland. Lockland is gonna,
which I'm excited about. Lockland, just not what I was expecting.
First,
yeah, no trenches yet is interesting, and one, it's because those are clearly positions of need, and they're positions of need for every roster in America. So Auburn's not special in that regard, and that's why these positions cost so much. But so far, like, we haven't seen a ton of examples of Auburn shooting super high up a position grouping when you look at rankings at certain positions, except for defensive line. You've seen them go after some of the top 10, top 5 ranked defensive linemen early, trying to get them on campus. You've seen them like reach out to is it Jace Brown?
The wide receiver from Kansas State.
Kansas State. Like, you've seen him. I assume he's ranked highly. I think he's really good. He should be ranked highly if he's not. But that's really kind of the only one. And then offensive line, it's been a lot of just kind of averagely ranked guys, which was super predictable, and I don't have an issue with it at all. But defensive line, it seems like that's the position where they're ready to spend some money, and there just hasn't been a whole lot of movement there yet.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Are you waiting for the right guys? Are they not what you thought they were when they got here, or are the price tags too high? You got to have them, or are there some guys like, for example, this Ohio State offensive lineman, Tegra Tishabola. He's one of their I think he's one of their starting offensive linemen.
I hope we get him just off a name alone.
Well, he just announced he's coming on a visit. So, like, did you pass like a guy, the dude from Kansas State, Vass, because this guy's an interior guy that you're looking at him? That's the kind of things we're not necessarily privy to, and it's impossible to know until it all shakes out. And then, you never know. Like, the kid from Kansas State, the Vass guy, the interior offensive lineman, he only was going one other place. And by the time you're listening to this, he could have decided, I'm not going to go to Central Florida. I'm going to go to Auburn. Like, so,
yeah,
I don't know. It's not falling in okay, I'll tell you, I think this is accurate. The priority of need does not feel like it's being filled first.
As far as what we know, right? But also, like, our priority of need is the same as everyone else's.
True.
And the players know that. If you're a good offensive lineman, if you are a startable O-line or D-lineman, you know that. And you'll never have this much leverage in your life again. Ever.
Man, you're preaching right now.
And so is that part of it? And, these guys don't have an emotional connection to Auburn. They've been here for, 5 minutes. They don't even really experience it. They just go through the super nice facilities, and they may go out to dinner somewhere, which is fine. I'm sure that's super enjoyable, but I think a lot of people can offer that. They don't get the benefit of living here, being here, fan base, game day, all that stuff. And
where
so
where do you take a kid to eat? Just lock him down in Auburn. Where you go?
Good question. My favorite is the Draft House, downtown Auburn.
Okay.
But I don't think I would take a recruit there.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't think I would either.
Why'd you make that face?
I mean, there's of all the places. I mean, that's one I haven't been there in a while. But that Sawmill Burger would make me commit.
Dude,
send the check. Draft House.
Yeah. I've said they have the best sandwich in town.
Botanic seems like the hot place for when Hugh was here. So that means Alex Golesh will never go to Botanic.
No, he may be like a Cafe 123 guy or something.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of nicer restaurants. I don't know. Is that what you guys want? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't want that when I was that age, but I don't know.
It's a different day.
how many offensive linemen and defensive linemen do you think we need? So like on the defensive line, you lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You lost 7 guys on the defensive line. So far, you've replaced them with 2 guys out of the high school ranks. Speaking of, Jay Hardy declared for the draft.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't think he should do that.
I didn't know. I didn't think there was any possible way he had eligibility left. I was like, do you do that, or you just say I'm done? I'm gonna go try. I'm gonna go try the NFL draft.
I don't know.
I didn't know. I didn't think there was. I mean, he was a Gus commit. There's no way he had.
And then
right?
James Ash entered the portal. I'm like, all these guys that we got on like their last leg of eligibility, like Caleb Wheatland, I recorded with our Michigan State guy because they got Caleb Wheatland. Like he can still play football.
I guess he redshirted.
Yeah, I guess he didn't play here. So I don't know.
And neither did James Ash. And I remember seeing him.
We were wrong on him.
I remember seeing him just off the hoof and thinking he was one of the better looking as far as put together defensive linemen. I thought he was going to be him.
I look at a good camp, but yeah, clearly didn't crack the rotation there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just from a number standpoint,
I mean, it feels like you got to have 3 or 4 of each, maybe 4 of each, kind of spread out.
Yeah, I mean, you just, can you go into the season with, so you've got 3 returning guys, and like, I don't know what expectations should be for the freshmen, Corey Wells and Tavion Branch. Corey Wells is probably able to play.
He could probably play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many guys you feel comfortable with. Like, is 3 enough? Is 3 more enough? Especially when none of your edge guys, I don't think you can scoot in. It's not like Keldrick or Amaris. You don't have those guys anymore. Those guys were big enough where you could put them in, play 4-eye and stuff.
Right.
Jared Smith, I don't think is doing that. Joe Phillips, I don't think is doing that. So that's an interesting one to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you need quality and quantity at that position. And then offensive line, like I really think you need to add 4 starters.
Easily.
3 or 4 starters.
Yeah. 2 at minimum 3. And then that you could argue, there could be an argument for 2 if the other 2 that you bring in, you need 4 minimum.
But you're gonna need to bring portal guys in on the offensive line that even won't start.
Exactly. That's where I was going. Like you got to bring in 4 minimum, I feel like, and I feel like 3 of those need to start. You could convince me only 2 need to start if some of these other guys that are here can step up, and those 2 are in the right spots.
Yeah,
but you gotta have guys no matter what. You gotta have guys.
Gotta have guys.
Gotta have dudes.
Gotta have dudes.
Yep.
I think that does it for today's show. How can people check out everything you've got? How can people check out everything you've got going on? Easy.
Man, oh man. Go to thebarnauburn.com first, subscribe there to our message board, and then subscribe to our YouTube page, The Barn Auburn. So much new content going out every single day. Mm-hmm. And then anywhere you get a podcast, the Barn Podcast Network.
Yes. Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked on Auburn.